Hello tacticians! We just got update 1.22 and this is a big one. Let's see what's in the update notes and what we already noticed as a guild, as well as give a few highlights of what may or may not have been mentioned before. Jeanstealer cults. Well, if the hero preview is using the unmodified in-game model, we have a first smiling, or at least smirking, hero in Tacticus, which explains why people surrender their Levi-Strosses so eagerly to the Jeansstealers. She's just freaking cute compared to the other ladies! Okay, a cold shower later and I can continue. We'll have a new survival event coinciding with Halloween with a few balancing tweaks. And I hope the tweaks are significant because it's going to be Chaos versus Terminators and the event hero is Ascor. Great. My advice here would be get Ascor killed and replaced with literally anyone else as soon as you can. The cute pants robber is apparently named Zibia Kaiser, is a magus, and we'll get her during the usual Jean release event in the next battle pass. Let's hope she knows her way around the kitchen, because suddenly I'm feeling mega hunger! Now, new requisition mercy system. The TLDR is that because the probability of getting a legendary hero from requisitions was BS, my personal experience is that I got exactly one Abaddon for legendaries from estimated 800 pulls over my career, which, using quick maths, should have gotten me 2 to 3 legendaries statistically, so I got unlucky. So now the probability is going to start increasing after 100 requisition without legendaries in them. Free to players mostly unaffected. The next battle pass features the Tyrannid Winged Prime. Good. An otherwise unfarmable hero can be bought again. Mirror Elite Same Hand Zone 4, Jeansstealers I believe, released. Something to take a crack at on Saturday for the double gold from first clear rewards. Finally, a new tournament mode, Faction War. Something I, and probably not only me, have long ago suggested. A limited roster mode. You select just one faction, with auxiliaries for factions with only 4 released heroes. That might be interesting and show how, air quotes, balanced, end of air quotes, each given faction is. Let's look at the implementation. Characters you don't have will be lent to you for this mode. Good, that's also something I suggested. Well done, Snowprint. At common rarity regardless of the rarity cap selected. Well, fuck you, Snowprint. That means that while new players can play and test the various heroes at common, players who could have played at rare, but are missing even one hero of the given faction, are penalized. Let's move on. Players get +1 point for playing a faction they have 3 to 4 heroes of, or +2 points for playing a faction they have all 5 heroes of. Okay, again, this benefits the long-term players and big spenders, because only they will have full factions ready for the top caps. Once again, taking myself as an example, I have played free-to-play pretty hardcore since launch day, and I have exactly one full faction ready for epic rarity, which is what the mode is going to be introduced at with a week of advance warning. Well fucking done, Snowprint. Thank you for letting us know early enough to prepare. Not! I'm just glad I already stopped playing the tournament arena for ranking. Unrelated, I can't decide whether the best team will be Space Wolves, Ragnar finally working as intended, or Death Guard, Terminator armor buffs. See below or at the end of the video. We shall see in about 2 weeks. Okay, enough about the shit mode. With Vitruvius's legendary release event over and the Trouser Grousers incoming, the next LRE is the Patromine, Jeanstealer Patriarch, and I'm already looking forward to it. The hero quests for the next season are Lucian's and Engrex's. That's going to showcase how bad Lucian's active is for quests and how bad Engrex is for quests, period. And I'll be there for you every step of the way. Some more improvements. The ability tooltips now include keywords describing whether the ability is a ranged ability or a melee ability or triggers a normal attack for more comprehensibility. One effect I already noticed is that Calandis' active now mitigates damage from ranged abilities when they are used at melee distance, such as Roswitha's Torch or Eldrion's Executioner, which wasn't the case in the previous version. This is sure to catch some players unaware in the next few tournaments. Oh, apparently it wasn't enough about the shit mode. In the tournament, player 2 now begins the fight with 100,000 HP worth of shield removed when they begin their first turn, as a stopgap measure to some of the maps, well, most of them by now, being too small for how much reach some of the heroes have. It still doesn't help when player 1 can effectively prevent you from moving. Do better, Snowprint, please. On top of that, starting on round 8, the battlefield will start getting bombarded, shrinking the field Battle Royale style to prevent infinite matches. Mutual destruction with the same bombardment wave results in a draw worth 5 points for both players. The wording here is suspicious, it may now result from explosions and final vengeances or similar effects as well. Survival mode tweaked. The biggest change probably is that the fleeing enemies award full points now, which is something I didn't realize was happening in the first iteration, because, well, the battle fatigue was important against the Horde, so this is a goodish thing. Still, other than the rich few who clear the event fully, this will not affect us significantly. Some Guild War changes. The battlefield level accessibility is now dependent on total guild power rather than level, so newly amalgamated whale pods can just go level 5 right off the bat, and we get some changes to the zones again. The landing pads are removed and replaced with a second Medicae and with a Warp Rift. The Medicae stations now give 25% HP each, and only to heroes, for a marginally smaller total buff than before. And they no longer affect summons, fixing the long-standing problem with Aleph Scarab Swarms, finally. This change will make the war slightly easier. The Warp Rift seems to increase Psyker's damage by 20%, and I'm unsure whether this applies even to abilities that cannot benefit from buffs, such as the one Tigurius has. And when a non-Daemon Psyker, so currently everyone available in the Guild War except a Pink Horror, dies, a random demon hostile to everyone is spawned in their place. I'm assuming that means Bloodletters, Pinkies, and Blue Horrors, and doesn't include heroes or raid bosses, which is a fun idea. I'm skipping the requisition changes due to the new mercy system, because I gave my TLDR at the beginning of the video, but apparently something similar is going to be implemented for upgrades and shards from campaign stages, which I am very, very suspicious of. Quest events now guarantee one legendary badge from the final chest, which is nice. And the Orcs rework continues with Snapavreka and Galgords, hopefully making Octarius and Elite Octarius less of a pain. Galgords' Wang now summons 2 Orc boys, but needs a target and doesn't give control of your units to AI. But outside of orcs only triggers for heroes adjacent to Galgords. Galgords also gained the Get Stuck In trait and the Crushing Strike trait, which replaced his Daka, and now he is a 2 hits eviscerating melee attack and 1 hit projectile ranged attack, but his passive now triggers on ranged attacks as well, if I understand it correctly, and if I saw the one gameplay stage I played with him correctly. Also, he finally has armor and his attack has been increased, so he may not be completely shit anymore. Snappa Rekka. His active now deals an increasing amount of projectile hits depending on how many times Snappa was repaired during the fight, and costs Snappa 15% health. Passive now works with both ranged and melee attacks and removes more armor, but only when Snappa is at full health, when it also adds 1 more hit and costs Snappa 5% HP on attack. So you will want to keep him repaired all the time. Also, Snappa got tankier and damagier and gained the Get Stuck In trait, but lost Daka for it and is now a 3 hits chain melee and 3 hits projectile ranged hero. Well, this removes Snappa Rekka from all physical lineups for events, where he meshed well by being one of the few healable/repairable heroes, on top of providing a long range attack and a big target protection. Well, sad. Giba Scraps was also already given the Get Stuck In trait to fit in with the other fun guys, but this is not his full rework yet. That shall remain to be seen, hopefully by the end of the next year at this rate. Other heroes and changes and bug fixes. The Terminator armor now reduces 1 full attack by 75% rather than just the first hit, and makes the unit unsuppressible. No more kiting of Maladus to death by Volk or Thaddeus. Not without very specific terrain features at least. Also, several of the Terminators have been made unstoppable, which frankly I think should be an inbuilt feature of all the Terminators. Godswill's active ability now automatically overkills the target if it kills, just like Maladus's does. It is possible that this was always the case, only undocumented. I never noticed. I wonder how this works against Titus, who cannot be overkilled on his first death in a turn. Calandis' active now reduces damage from ranged abilities, new keywords in abilities, even if that ability is used from melee distance. Her passive still isn't triggered in this situation. I know I mentioned this already, but I really want to make it stick. Mephiston's active ability being used at a power-up or at a steppable in Salvage now picks the thing up rather than swap it with Mephiston. Salvage Run now counts towards do things in waves mode missions, which is okay. And I think that's pretty much everything worthwhile from the update notes and outside of them covered. Do let me know in the comments if you found some other sneaky changes or if you feel especially strongly about any of my opinions on these changes. Have a good day, Tactician!
If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel and watch the video again.